Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jenny and I am that props girl, and welcome to part 2 of my videos talking about Six the musical. Today we are going to be diving into the costuming for Six and the inspiration behind that and my thoughts on it all. So if you are keen to see that, then stick around. Be sure to smash the like button because it lets me know you want to see more content like this, as well as consider hitting that subscribe button and bell so that you don't miss a single one of my uploads. And with all that said and done, let's jump straight into this video. One thing I want to say that I didn't say in part 1 was that I love the fact that Six was extremely inclusive when it came to race. Now, I love the fact that all around the world, all of the queens are depicted differently. They're depicted by people of color, they're depicted by people from all different races and walks of life, and I absolutely love that. It is so progressive in that way, and I just adore it. That is just something else that just makes me love this show even more. Okay, so I have got my program here from Six in Australia, so I'm just going to be looking through that as well, because on every single page, like, you have the actor who portrayed the role, but then also here you have information about the costume. So we're going to start with Aragon because she comes first, and I'm just going to say, I know I said I have favorites. I discussed this in my last video, but I still adore every single queen and I love them individually for who they are. Okay, so Aragon. Now, Aragon's color is gold. Her inspiration came from Beyonce and Shakira. She has got these gorgeous gold chains, which, as far as I know, are quite heavy. A lot of the Six costumes have got these studs on them, and those studs are obviously gonna add up and be quite heavy. It's to kind of give it that sort of like battle armor sort of look, and I absolutely adore that. And if you look back in history, if you look at Joan of Arc and that sort of thing, it kind of is like they're putting them in armor almost. So the fishnet stockings that majority of them wear, it's kind of a little like hat tip to chainmail. So it's kind of like saying these ladies are walking into battle, like they are here, they are fierce, they are ready to fight. And that's kind of the premise of the show. Like, 1, they're fighting each other, but 2, they're fighting for like their place in history, and or herstory, as it's also called. And that's amazing. Aragon has also got this crown. She's got this glorious crown. So it's kind of like this one, but like she's got spikes, kind of like the Statue of Liberty crown coming out from her head, and they are high and tall. And she's got these capped sleeves and the like Tudor neckline that was very like square and up, and sleeves and like a puff here, and then a long sleeve on her. And she has chains everywhere, and it's just, I wonder, like, you know, is it sort of like a little tidbit for the fact that she was kind of like the wife in chains, like the poor thing. She went through so much, you know, when Henry was having all of his affairs and all that sort of stuff, and she stood by him. I don't know, that's just my take on the matter, but they were extremely clever in creating this costume as well. And of course, like, all of the girls have their signature boots as well. But yeah, she also had these big gold hoops, and just everything was just gold, and it just seemed like heavy and dense. And I'm sure there's a reason for that. I think it's probably to say that she was quite anchored as a person. She was so anchored in her faith, and so rigid and strong, and like, chain is rigid, chain is strong. And she was almost like immaculate, like gold. So yeah, I absolutely adore Catherine's costume. I think it is just insane. But Phoenix, who did play her in the Australian production, did say that the costume is extremely heavy. Moving right along to Boleyn, we are here with our little Queenspiration page. And Boleyn is green. It's kind of that thing of like green sleeves type thing. The irony is she's not actually wearing any sleeves. I love the fact that she has a line of, my sleeves may be green, but my lipstick's red. She has no sleeves. Anne Boleyn, I actually knew a lot about her before the show started. And like, I know that this is weird to have like a favorite wife of Henry VIII, like, musical aside. I was always like, Anne Boleyn is my favorite. And they're like, you can't have a favorite wife. Like, I can. I just love the story of Anne Boleyn. And I'm not like romanticizing what happened. Like, that's not what this is. But I've just always had this strange attachment to her. I think it's got something to do with the fact that I absolutely adore Elizabeth. Anyways, Anne Boleyn, she has these cute little like space buns on top of her head, which once again have got this like studdedness around them. So it's kind of like she's going into war. She's there, like she looks cute. She looks like the little party animal. Like, you know, you've had this solid stoic like picture of the first wife of Aragon, and then we're going to the party girl who, you know, she's in a short skirt and that sort of thing. She's like, you can tell she's there for a flirt. She's not there for a long time, but she's there for a good time. Like she's off the shoulder. Like Catherine was covered up, you know, long sleeves. Boleyn is like, look at me. And that's kind of like the vibe that they're going for. They like got the off the shoulder happening. Yeah, she's got some studdedness on her, but not as much as Aragon. Aragon has got tons more. Boleyn's costume does not look as heavy. So it's kind of like, she's a little bit more flighty. She's a bit more free-spirited, and that's the vibe that they're going for. I love the fact that she has her choker that has the little bee on it, which is the same as Catherine Howard, which is kind of like a tie to they were both beheaded. They've got the similarities here. They have a similar like skirt situation going on. She has got the most glorious skirt. I just love all the little like pieces of plastic and then the pleather that goes in between. So she's got like this checkerboard sort of thing going on. Her inspiration was Lily Allen and Avril Lavigne, which you can totally see in this costume. I just absolutely adore her. Another thing that's really clever with the costuming for this as well, which is just a side note, the boots they put them in are quite solid because they're like running around and doing an awful lot of stuff, and you know, like dancing in heels is hard enough, so they put them in shoes that are very, very solid, which is great. But two, the way that they have the little like loop on the side of the costume for their mics to like slip in and out of, it's just built into the costume, which is so clever. Absolutely adore it. So yes, she has got like studded earrings here. I appreciate the fact that there's kind of more of the plasticiness on Boleyn versus Aragon, and I do wonder if that's kind of like a hat tip to say like, she was fake, or she was like a Barbie doll type thing. I have no idea. I could just be talking out of my bottom here, but that's kind of like the vibes that I think. Her underskirt was also all green as well. Green is my favorite color, so of course I'm going to be like impartial to her costume. But yeah, on the whole, like, I cannot get over how much I adore her as a character. Totally brilliant. All right, we are moving on now to the beautiful Jane Seymour. So we have her Queenspiration right here. Her coloring is black, white, and silver. I know that is extremely specific. And if you watch part 1, you will see where I went into talking about the lighting for this number. She is very cool tone. She has a little headband like mine, just that she's got some like middle spikes here. So she's kind of like got a little crown thing going on. And basically her coloring is in this like monochromaticness. She is the only one who has a longer skirt. Very prim and proper. And the whole point is to say she was above the other ones because she wasn't flirting with other people. She was a very good lady. She and Catherine of Aragon, I believe, are kind of like on the same like moral level of things. She's supposed to be the one who is beautiful. She's supposed to be the one who is dainty. She is supposed to be that one because she is known historically as the person who Henry fell in love with. Like, he adored her, and it's like there were no more mistresses, there were no more this, there was no more that, because he was so in love with Jane. And that's what this costume says. She's meant to be white, like an angel. And yes, she's got black because that is like, you know, it's the thing that ties all of the costumes together. But as I said, she's got the longer skirt. It's like the train of the bride. She has got sleeves. She's very covered. She's almost in a corset, which is like historically, you know, pulling you into line, and she is just oozing elegance, and I love that. Her inspiration is Adele and Sia, and when I think of Adele, like, I've seen her in concert, she is just always so put together, and that is just the vibe for the gorgeous Jane Seymour. Oh, her song is just like gut punch. Oh, I can't even. But she fits so beautifully in the middle as well. I absolutely love Jane Seymour. I love the story of Jane Seymour. It is disastrously tragic, but as I said, all of them are. But I love the fact that, you know, like, if they had just put black and white in, it wouldn't have, you know, shone as much. So they had to put in silver. They had to give it that shine. Future Jen here, just jumping in, and I cannot believe I didn't realize this until I was editing the video, but Seymour's colors are also ghostly colors because she is the one who died. And yes, of course, you know, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard did die, but they were beheaded, and it's just a whole different thing. And of course the rhyme divorce, beheaded, died, blah blah blah. So she died of natural causes, and she's in ghostly colors. So yeah, that's just something that's a little bit cool. And you know, she's still got the studs like other people, but they're definitely less on Jane. You know, they're not trying to make her fight, because to be honest, of everybody, she's known for being loved. She's not the one who has to fight for her place in history. Like, everyone's like, oh, Jane. Everyone loves Jane. So there's no need to put so much like armor on her. She's fine. That's very rude because I adore Jane Seymour. But like, when you look at it comparatively like that, tragic as her story is, she's remembered a lot better than the other wives. Alright you guys, I'm actually going to stop this video here because I realized when I was editing it that it was very long. So I'm leaving you guys here on the cliffhanger, and we will pick up in my next video with the last 3 queens. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments what you think about any of my theories about how the costuming works for 6, and be sure to hit the like button if you did enjoy this video, because it does let me know you want to see more content like this, as well as consider hitting that subscribe button and bell so that you don't miss a single one of my uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.